Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the IWC Portofino Hand-Wound 8 Days Tribeca Film Festival 2015 limited edition of 100 pieces. You can see and you can purchase this stainless steel special edition 8-day Power Reserve IWC Portofino on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this IWC Portofino Hand-Wound Tribeca Film Festival. Now, of course, IWC has a long-standing agreement with the Tribeca Film Festival to provide commemorative watches and cross-promotion, and it's a good fit because the watches have been superb, upscale, premium, satisfying, and nicely integrated into the IWC product lines without feeling contrived. If you knew nothing about the heritage and parentage of this co-branded edition, you would still say that's a good-looking dress watch. And indeed it is. It's also a large one that fits well. 45 millimeters across the round of the case is traditional for the Portofino, as the first reference in the early 80s was actually even larger than this. Now, it's designed to evoke a pocket watch converted for wrist use, and certainly it has that aesthetic, even though in profile, at 11.9 millimeters thick with a domed bezel and sloped sapphire, it does easily slide underneath a tight sleeve or dress cuff. From lug to lug, the watch is 50.8 millimeters, which is to say, across the wrist, it's really no larger than a modern 40 millimeter Rolex sports watch on a bracelet, and it has that same horn-to-horn distance, but I would even say it's easier to wear on a small wrist because the lugs are so spare and minimalist. We're almost into wire lug Panerai Radomir territory here, with a strap that pulls straight down and lugs that almost vanish and taper down around the curve of a wrist. Minimalist lugs, maximalist strap. You can see it's bolstered down the center. It has a large rectangular scale alligator in black with a monotone stitch folded edge and a strong center column. On the underside, you can see the signal orange that is the hallmark of the Italian leather house Santoni, which makes custom straps for these models. Traditional low-profile IWC steel pin buckle for easy adjustment on the fly. You can see the case is all of high polish because while it is a large watch, it's a minimalist case. Again, that original early 1980s Portofino reference was all about the dial, and so too is this one. That doesn't mean the case isn't nicely rendered with a strong horizontal character line that runs the length of the case band where the bezel abuts the case flank. The lugs are very spare, as you can see, with the look of welded-on appurtenances rather than stamped-in components. Again, very true to the first Portofino. The dial, if you view it from head-on, appears to be the entirety of the watch, the bezel melting away into a sort of silver halo framing the centerpiece, which is a radial sunburst metallic grain gray dial with a small metallic Bordeaux sub-register for seconds at 6 o'clock. It's a handsome tandem, and there's a small additional flourish of color within the last 2 days of the Power Reserve indicator at 8:30. All indices, as well as the stylized Roman numeral 12, are applied, faceted, and polished, and there's a nice polished chapter ring to the sub-seconds to visually separate the Bordeaux from the gray. Now, the hands at center are my favorite, leaf style, beautifully tapered and sensuous. They're matched by leaf style small seconds and Power Reserve hands. The date disc is monotone, and the aperture itself features a gradual step down, so it's not a sheer cut through the dial to the date disc. You also note how discreet the Portofino signature is at 3 o'clock. I love that. Turn the watch over. I love this too. Now, this is the IWC manufacturer caliber 59-210, 8-day Power Reserve, 30 joules. It operates at a modern 4 Hz beat rate, and yet it does beat for 8 days, meaning you only have to wind this watch 1 day per week. This is an outstanding timepiece for someone who has a collection with a rotation of timepieces, because you don't have to constantly mind it. It can mostly mind itself. Now, it also features hacking seconds to stop the balance and synchronize the watch, plus a quick set date for rapidly cycling that convenient information. You can see that there is a little bit of silk screening on the crystal, denoting the participation in the Tribeca Film Festival, the 2015 model year, and the fact that this is an edition of 100 pieces, so quite exclusive. It's also a fascinating in-house caliber from IWC. With the 8-day Power Reserve, it actually locks out the last day of Power Reserve. It stops with 24 hours remaining because below 8 days, IWC does not believe the watch is isochronic, and thus 9-day Power Reserve reduced to 8. The watch features a stop works to prevent it from ever running without precision when it is running. It also features a free-sprung balance, a rugged architecture that helps it to better endure shock and vibration on the wrist without deviating from its regulation and isochronism. Moreover, it's a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring, which assists abundantly in the resistance of positional or gravitationally induced timing deviation. A rugged, accurate, and long-legged manufacture movement, to be sure. This watch is all about its style. It's not an ingenieur. It's not a pilot. It's not even a Portuguese. It's an IWC for perhaps the collector who's looking to complete a comprehensive IWC collection, or perhaps it's the IWC for the collector who never envisioned himself wearing one of the brand's mainstream model lines. A rare edition of a superb fundamental reference. This is the 5101-11 in stainless steel. You can see it and you can purchase it on our website.